put this MSN Recorder Max on the right lower corner of the screen, and I want to add a few more recording methods. So one of them is going to be MSN Recorder Max, which is a webcam software, and it enables me to record the screen and so on. One portion of it which I do not like to run is the add effects pane. So I'm going to close this add effect pane and start recording. Notice that this is a 360 J5 Crew 360 webcam, which I'm starting to record now. The hardware is the J5 Create camera combined with a webcam Max software. So I'm starting to record from it, and as you see the counter starts running, that means that it is working. Next one I will try to run is Cyberlink, which sometimes for some reason does not work. This is UCAM 365 from Cyberlink, but I click it and it does not work. In addition to that, I want to use a webcam, cloud webcam software, which is this Loom. So I'm going to run this Loom, and I want to select the camera that Loom can work with, which is this built-in camera. So I'm starting to record it. I click the button and we will see the timer running. And now we start skip, and finally it starts working. In addition to that, I want to run PSR, Problem Step Recorder. So this is another recording software. Before I start it, I want to examine the number of recent screen captures to store is set up to 999. And then I click OK to start recording. And before I continue any further, I want to click the new recording button. And then as soon as it starts, I want to add a comment with the video file name from MSN Recorder Max. And the important thing about it, it is my video, the date, and the time.mpeg. So it is automatically recording the day and the time. I click OK and it starts working. And then I want to open a notepad so I can put in the details of this activity and document it in the notepad. I'm going to turn to the notepad, go to the top of the notepad, to the very top, and make some space at the very top and paste the video file name. Edit, paste. Then I want to document also what it is. It is dealing with the Miami Beach Pride Festival. So I'm going to expand it a bit and add, or maybe we'll make it full screen so I can have all my notes about it, and also the title, Miami Beach Pride Festival and Media Transfer. Before I run it, I copy to the clipboard buffer, and I want to edit as text. So let's see if I can edit as text somewhere here. Add note. So I want to edit as a note and paste it as a note. Okay. Convert to source. When I convert to source, it is listing it at the bottom here. Also make it a little smaller and paste it also in my notes. Edit, paste. I can also produce a file and save it to my log folder that contains the topic plus the number of sources, which is 56 sources. And most important, it is notebook. It is notebook LM. So I want to put in front of it notebook LM. Notebook and capital LM, like a large or language model rather. And I want to save it in the log subfolder. So I'm going to mark the log subfolder, copy to the clipboard buffer, insert it at the beginning, and paste with a big backslash. And now I got the complete prefix, edit, copy, file, save as, and I'm going to overwrite the current file that is there, paste, and I can also insert another annotation of today's date and time to complement the one that was generated by MSN Screen Recorder, MSN Recorder Max. So today is the April 4th, so April 8th, so it is 4-8-2025 space. The day of the week is TU, capital T, lowercase u for Tuesday, and finally the time of the day is 2:35 p.m. So I put in 2.35 space and p.m. And now I got the complete file name plus a prefix of the path. Copy to the clipboard buffer, save it in the log subfolder, and then paste it in my notes again. I can also open another notes file that will also have the WordPad, because that also has hyperlinks that are active. So let's paste Control V, paste it, the file name here, and then make another version file, save as, paste it, except that I want to make a little exception here and put the log dot RTF, rich text format, or rich text format file, type of file, and give it a subscript of A so as to distinguish it from the previous file. Copy and save, and then go back to my file and paste it in at the top of the file. Now, the reason that that is important is because here I can put a hyperlink that works. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. Take the hyperlink from the notebook, copy to the clipboard buffer, and then paste it both on my notepad, paste, and enter, and also in my WordPad. Notice that when I paste it in the WordPad, Control V, it retains the form of a hyperlink. So you can click on it and it will port you to this. It will port the user to the hyperlink. I'm going to make it a little smaller and stack them up on the side here. Also move Pixar Problem Step Recorder to the side. And refresh it. I'm going to add a comment with a hyperlink to the notebook, Control V, and return and OK. And now I want to make a file in my notebook. This will be a zip type of file. So this is a triple backup and recovery in terms of file formats and subfolders. So that will be based on the log file I copy to the clipboard buffer, Then I'm going to edit as a comment to PSAR, which stands for Problem Step Recorder. Hit and enter and OK, and then stop and save. So this was already 8 minutes, and I haven't done yet the main task, which is to write notebook LM to listen to the podcast. I'm going to save PSAR. I click the save button, and now I'm pasting the file name, which is going to be a zip type of a file. So I'm inserting the file format immediately after the PM. So it will be period type ZP and space. And then I'm going to save it in the psar.exe subfolder. Copy the path to the psar.exe subfolder, which stands for Problem Step Recorder Executable. PSAR is a problem step recorder, and exe stands for executable. And then paste over the previous path, the new path, and now I'm ready to save it to this folder, copy it to the clipboard buffer, and then click the save button to save it. And now I want to review additional details. I click on this hyperlink to see that that was 136 steps, and start a new recording as I'm adding the previous file name. I forgot to embed in it also the video file name. Maybe I'll do that later. File save. Now I'm ready to listen to the podcast and start playing it back. Let's hear it. I'm pressing the playback button.
Welcome to this deep dive. You shared a pretty fascinating collection of materials. It's a whole bunch of YouTube video transcripts from the ARush channel. Kind of like peeking into this very busy and innovative mind.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite the variety. I mean, we see everything from like technical troubleshooting to like explorations of AI applications, and there's like dips into the complexities of financial markets. Oh, and we even have records of physical activities. Things like setting up equipment, gardening, and then even mixed in with all of that, you know, glimpses of just everyday personal errands.
Like a whole life.
It is, yeah. It suggests a real drive to kind of explore and document all these different things, like a whole spectrum of endeavor.
Okay, so let's unpack this. There are a few really interesting threads running through everything you shared. I think a good place to start would be looking at the stuff around technology and innovation, especially the exploration of AI and all the different digital tools.
I think that's a great place to start. One of the first things that jumps out is this consistent engagement with recording technology. We see across multiple transcripts attempts to use a whole array of cameras, everything from a webcam Max and CyberLink UCam to integrated webcams, a 360 camera,
Wow.
a Microsoft Live Cam, and even iView goggles.
iView goggles.
Yeah, I know. This constant grappling with different recording setups, it highlights a crucial but often unseen aspect of innovation, like the messy, iterative process of actually making things work.
Right.
Yeah. It kind of underscores this reality that even for people at the forefront of exploring new tools, the path is rarely smooth. You know, often involves significant troubleshooting.
And it's not just cameras, right? It's also different recording software. MSN Recorder Mac.
I clicked on the beta and see notebook Google wants to use your microphone. So I say allow the microphone. And then I'm going to play back so I can join the discussion. I click the play audio again, and this time I will join the discussion.
Welcome to this deep dive. You shared a pretty fascinating collection of materials. It's a whole bunch of YouTube video transcripts from the ARush channel. Kind of like peeking into this very busy and innovative mind.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite the variety. I mean, we see everything from like technical troubleshooting to like explorations of AI applications, Then there's like dips into the complexities of financial markets. Oh, and we even have records of physical activities, things like setting up equipment, gardening, and then even mixed in with all of that, glimpses of just everyday personal errands.
It's like a whole life.
It is, yeah. It suggests a real drive to kind of explore and document all these different things, like a whole spectrum of endeavors.
Okay, so let's unpack this. There are a few really interesting threads running through everything you shared. I think a good place to start would be looking at the stuff around technology and innovation, especially the exploration of AI and all the different digital tools.
I think that's a great place to start. One of the first things that jumps out is this consistent engagement with recording technology. We see across multiple transcripts attempts to use a whole array of cameras, everything from a webcam max and CyberLink UCam to integrated webcams, a 360 camera,
Wow.
a Microsoft Live Cam, and even iView goggles.
iView goggles.
Yeah, I know. This constant grappling with different recording setups, it highlights a crucial but often unseen aspect of innovation, like the messy, iterative process of actually making things work.
Right?
Yeah, it kind of underscores this reality that even for people at the forefront of exploring new tools, the path is rarely smooth. Often involves significant troubleshooting.
And it's not just cameras, right? It's also different recording software. Loom,
Yeah,
MSN Recorder Max, even just the Simple Steps recorder.
yeah.
And it definitely wasn't always smooth sailing. You provided transcripts that are full of error messages,
Oh, yeah.
difficult getting playback to work, and the recurring need to restart software.
Yes.
I'm sure we've all been there when we've tried to make, a video call work with multiple devices.
Of course, yeah. And I think what's fascinating here is that it really pulls back the curtain on the reality, the often frustrating reality that's behind this polished facade we see of video and audio production.
Right.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even in our super technologically advanced world, getting different hardware and software to just, seamlessly work together can be a huge hurdle.
Yeah. This leads to another key area that was highlighted in the transcripts, this practical exploration of AI applications. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So the concept of this vanity phone number that is linked to AI, that's a recurring idea.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty forward thinking. And the vision here is more than just like a memorable number. It's about creating an intelligent point of contact, one that can filter inquiries, provide instant information on common topics, and only escalate to a human when it's something complex.
So it's kind of like
Yeah.
improving efficiency and the user experience. Okay.
And it even goes beyond just basic call handling, too. We see discussions around developing AI agents for educational purposes, and these wouldn't just be like passive information providers. No, the transcripts suggest AI that can actually interpret video and still images,
Wow.
engage.
Welcome to this deep dive. You shared a pretty fascinating collection of materials. It's a whole bunch of YouTube video transcripts from the ARush Channel, kind of like peeking into this very busy and innovative mind.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite the variety. I mean, we see everything from like technical troubleshooting to like explorations of AI applications. Then there's like dips into the complexities of financial markets. Oh, and we even have records of physical activities, things like setting up equipment, gardening, and then even mixed in with all of that, glimpses of just everyday personal errands.
It's like a whole life.
It is, yeah. It suggests a real drive to kind of explore and document all these different things, like a whole spectrum of endeavors.
Okay, so let's unpack this. There are a few really interesting threads running through everything you shared. I think a good place to start would be looking at the stuff around technology and innovation, especially the exploration of AI and all the different digital tools.
I think that's a great place to start. One of the first things that jumps out is this consistent engagement with recording technology. We see across multiple transcripts attempts to use a whole array of cameras, everything from a webcam max and CyberLink UCam to integrated webcams, a 360 camera,
Wow.
a Microsoft Live Cam, and even iView goggles.
iView goggles.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there, how can we help?
Yes, this is not only recording, it is also live streaming, like live streaming to YouTube Live using a Zoom seminar or webinar.
It's not just about capturing things for later.
Exactly. The source material does mention streaming live on YouTube.
For potential students and faculty to see what happens.
It talks about using Zoom for these live streams as well.
So that element of real-time broadcasting is definitely a key part.
It brings up that idea of open access and transparency in sharing information. Oh, go for it.
Especially for people that cannot come physically to the location of the teaching, such as the University of Miami in this case, or some other events.
That's such an important point to bring up.
Absolutely. The transcripts we're looking at mention that universities in the U.S. are required by law to give disabled people an opportunity to equalize the gap.
Exactly. So this live streaming aspect, as you're saying, becomes crucial for accessibility.
It allows students who might not be able to attend in person to still participate fully.
Which really highlights the value of these technologies in creating more inclusive. Oh yeah, with error messages and getting playback to work.
It reminds us that the tech behind these polished streams can be finicky.
Right. And this leads us to the practical side of exploring AI.
This vanity phone number linked to AL is a really forward-thinking idea.
It's about creating an intelligent point of contact for efficiency.
It could filter inquiries and provide instant information. Yep, go on.
The point is that we use also Pixie Bot, which is video recognition and description software for the blind.
That's right. The use of PixieBot is a really significant part of this technological exploration.
What's fascinating here is how these technologies are being explored with accessibility in mind, just like you mentioned.
It's not just about the recording or the live stream itself.
It's about making that content understandable for everyone, including those with a visual impairment.
And PixieBot seems like a really innovative tool for that specific purpose.
It connects directly to the earlier point about bridging the gap for disabled individuals.
Right, and the idea of hybrid classes being both in-person and online simultaneously.
That really underscores the necessity of a robust IT setup to handle both.
Making sure everyone, regardless of their location or abilities, has a seamless experience.
Which then connects to how they were using various recording software.
Yeah, tools like Webcam Max and even just the simple steps recorder.
And it definitely wasn't always smooth sailing, as the transcripts show some challenges.
Oh yeah, with error messages and getting playback to work.
It reminds us that the tech behind these polished streams can be finicky.
Right. And this leads us to the practical side of exploring AI.
This vanity phone number linked to AL is a really forward-thinking idea.
It's about creating an intelligent point of contact for efficiency.
It could filter inquiries and provide instant information.
And it goes beyond.
Hey, yeah, what's up?
Most importantly, it describes the business theme. Like 800 Chat GPT is about the Chat GPT AI.
That's a really insightful way to put it.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the vanity number concept.
It's designed to be memorable, like you pointed out with 800 Chat GPT.
Yeah, and it's directly linked to a business or service.
What's fascinating here is how it aims to make AI accessible for business.
It's about empowering the next generation to leverage AI actively.
The idea of AI joining a live audio conversation.
That joint feature sounds like it could change collaboration.
It raises questions about how AI might become a participant.
Offering real-time insights and potentially flagging details.
How might this real-time AI integration reshape your work?
It's definitely... Oh, go for it.
It's a matter of real-time learning. The AI can learn from the joint expert and incorporate the new knowledge in the knowledge base.
You've hit on something really key there.
Absolutely. That's precisely the idea.
The source material touches on this.
It mentions that the AI would listen in.
And put the professor's explanation into its database.
So it's constantly building its knowledge.
A much more dynamic system, as we said.
This continuous learning is so powerful.
It means the AI gets more capable over time.
And more effective at handling inquiries.
Exactly, reducing the need for human intervention.
This really highlights the power of continuous learning.
And how it aims to automate initial conversation.
Freeing up experts for more complex cases.
So that number could connect you to an AI.
One that's handled countless similar inquiries.
Providing increasing... Oh, yeah.
And not only one expert, but a video conference of multiple experts getting their consensus on new issues.
That's a really interesting expansion of the idea.
Okay, let's unpack this further.
The transcripts do touch upon the value of collaboration.
Yeah, like different university departments working together.
Finance with fintech, healthcare with related fields.
The idea of offering secondary appointments to bridge knowledge.
So bringing in multiple experts for the AI to learn from.
That could create a really rich and nuanced knowledge base.
The AI could potentially synthesize different perspectives.
And identify areas of consensus or new points of discussion.
Like the AI becomes a central point for collective intelligence.
That's a fascinating thought.
Now, thinking about managing our digital world.
Shifting gears to handling online files effectively.
The transcripts highlight understanding cloud storage.
Knowing the difference between Google Docs and shortcuts.
Such a simple thing, but it avoids so much confusion.
And the suggestion to use mirroring for local access.
It's one of those practical tips that makes life easier.
Paying attention to these everyday digital details is key.
It shows a commitment to efficient workflows.
Let's briefly touch on personal finance as well.
The call to fidelity regarding exchange-traded funds.
It really shows the complexity of financial products,
Getting straightforward answers can sometimes be a burble.
which underscores how vital financial literacy is for everyone.
The caller's clear goal was the security of their savings.
The Fidelity representative suggested using an ETF screener tool.
That's a very useful resource for those exploring ETFs.
And the conversation about
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Also, the problems of silos in a large company like Fidelity, that one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing.
That's a really insightful observation.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit.
You're right, the interaction of fidelity does highlight that potential issue.
The initial representative had to transfer the call.
And even then, the next person still needed basic information.
It could definitely feel like there's a lack of internal communication sometimes.
That experience resonates with what the caller expressed.
Their frustration with repeat. Oh yeah, let's hear it.
And the customer pays by wasting their time talking to 10 representatives, one of which doesn't know what the other one got, and they don't share information.
That's a really valid point.
It definitely sounds like a frustrating experience.
The caller in that transcript certainly felt that way.
Having to repeat information multiple times.
And not getting a clear answer promptly?
It really back to our listener. What's
Like,
up?
repeat your name for 10 different representatives. Instead of them transferring the information from one rep to another, they force the customer to repeat it 10 times.
That's precisely the frustration that came through in that call.
It really underscores the value of well-informed representatives.
And it connects back to our earlier point about AI,
How AI could potentially handle those initial interactions.
providing a consistent experience without repeated questions.
It could definitely streamline things and improve satisfaction.
The transcript also touched on the specific tools mentioned,
Like the ETF screener that was suggested,
a helpful resource for navigating complex financial products.
and the conversation around potential committing fees.
It's so important to be aware of all the costs involved.
We also saw the use of steps recorder in the materials.
For creating a very detailed log of digital activity,
This meticulous record keeping is quite notable,
showing a dedication to tracking various projects.
almost like building that blockchain of file names.
But even with such detailed documentation,
Technical hiccups still occurred, as we saw. Yeah,
The details include every screenshot and every keystroke, especially non-displayable or non-visible keystrokes, like function keys and Control C and Control function keys or Alt function keys.
That's a really interesting level of detail.
it highlights the thoroughness of that recording method.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's more than just what you see.
Exactly. The steps recorder captures all those background actions.
Those commands, Control C or hitting function keys.
The things that aren't visually obvious on the screen.
So the documentation is incredibly comprehensive.
It gives complete picture of the digital process,
Even those non-visible actions are part of the record.
which could be really valuable for troubleshooting later.
A good reminder that technology isn't always perfect.
Yet the effort to document is definitely a proactive step,
Overall, this collection gives a really broad picture.
covering technology, AI, finance, and careful documentation,
Even everyday physical tasks offered moments for learning.
showing a real drive to understand and improve.
Whether tackling tech issues or exploring AI's potential.
This active pursuit of knowledge is quite inspiring.
AI in both education and business opens up huge questions.
Beyond just doing tasks, how will AI fundamentally change things?
What new skills might become essential in this evolving landscape?
The challenges we saw also remind us that innovation isn't always smooth.
It often involves experimentation and constant adjustments.
We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought.
What were some of your key takeaways today?
It's been a really fascinating conversation for us.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
We truly appreciate you joining our podcast today.
Okay, so now we can make it smaller. And this is basically the end of the current session. What we saw is a notebook LM and a summary starting from Miami Beach Pride Festival and media transfer from multiple cameras into the computer, and then from there uploading it to YouTube, and simultaneously streaming it on multiple recordings. So now I'm going to check out the playback of these various recording methods, starting with Loom. I'm going to stop the recording on Loom and play it back and document it in my notes. I'm going to snap the URL of Loom and then wait and then paste it into various notes. The notepad, edit, paste, and even more importantly is the WordPad, because the WordPad retains the hyperlink, so we can simply, the user can simply click on it and pull out this specific Loom session. In the meantime, I'm ready to play back Loom, so I'm going to press the button. Let's hear the quality of the playback of this Loom recording. I'm pressing the playback button and I will play it at a 2.5 speed. This is 2.5x. The recording took about 12 minutes. Let's hear a sample to verify that it works.
Finally, it's not working. In addition to this, I want to run this problem step recording. So this is another outgoing software. Before starting, I want to examine the number of recent screen captures to store is set up to 999. And then I click OK to start recording. And before I can do any further, I want to click the new recording button. And then as soon as it starts, I want to edit down into the video file name from MSN Recorder Max. So one thing about it is my video of the date of the time that's entered. So it's automatically recording the date and the time. So click OK and start working. And then I want to open a notepad so I can do the details of this activity and document it in the notepad. So what is that?
I suspended it because it looks perfectly good. I paste a comment from my notepad file and then paste the same. I click the add summary button and paste my notes as a summary. So now I have my notes pasted one time as a comment, one time as a summary. I click the plus add chapters, and I have to click the save button to save the 3 chapters. The first being in 0 seconds, the second being after 20 seconds, and the third being after 30 seconds. So save it and then add tags. So after I press the number symbol and the button that is labeled add tag, a pull down menu appears with multiple tags. So I'm starting from Gen A, the first one, then artificial, the second one, then a lanyard, the third, remote, plain, intelligence, inspection, videos, and site. And that concludes the 10 various name tags. So now I can minimize it and go to the next recording and deal with that. The next recording is going to be my webcam Max that I need to deal with because it is still running, it's still recording. I'm going to the top there and I'm going to tap the stop button and try to check it by playing it back. And as you see, the counter starts running. That means that it is working. Next one I will try to run is Cyberlink. That also works. Cyberlink doesn't work. I will have to install it again. And finally, the last but not least is that MSN requires